At Lark Funding, unlike most prop firms, we really pride ourselves on transparency, which is why a lot of the videos that we focus on in this channel is discussing the fact that unfortunately 90% of traders fail and how can traders enter that 10%. And so in today's video, we're actually flipping the script and we're going to focus on that 10%, those traders that do get funded and go on to receive a payout. Specifically, we recently processed a payout of roughly $4,500. And again, unlike most prop firms, we want to share the actual data. I have the belief that 90% of trading influencers are liars and scammers. If they've got a neck tattoo, if they've got a Lambo, you probably want to avoid them. But the good news is, what doesn't lie? Well, the data doesn't lie. And so for this trader that recently received this incredible payout, we pulled a whole bunch of his data and we're going to share it with you today so you can learn what actually works. Okay, let's dive right into it. Okay, so this trader made a total of $4,587.09 after their gain split. It was a payout of $3,669.67. Absolutely incredible. We're going to call this trader Simon. So well done, Simon. If you are watching, incredible. So let's take a look at some of Simon's stats. First off, the account traded was a three-step $100,000 account. Now you might be wondering, why would you sign up for a three-step challenge? Well, it's actually very competitive with gains of 5%, 4%, 3%, no daily loss limit, provides a lot of flexibility for traders, including the weekly payouts. Okay, so we know that he was trading a three-step $100,000 account. Active trading days, this is where it starts to get very interesting. In order to make this return of over 4%, $4,500, 4.5%, 7 active trading days, but on those active days, he's taking a lot of trades, which turns into roughly 1 trade a day. So he didn't trade every day, but the number of trades he took almost makes it as if he did. So he was certainly active on the account. When he saw an opportunity, he was active in trading that. Hope that made sense. Clearly need a little bit more coffee. So moving on, we're gaining and building a picture of what this trader did. Markets traded pound yen, gold, euro US, and pound US. Now, this does look like a green flag to me. Again, we have seen the data from thousands and thousands of traders, and sometimes we'll see traders focus on only one pair, others will focus on 15. So this really seems like a sweet spot, focusing on mastery rather than just jumping all over the place. Okay, let's get into some more concrete data now. The average losing trade was $823, which is just under 1% loss per trade, which is risk managed. That's what we like to see. However, things get a little bit iffy when you look at the average winning trade, which was only $435.22, which means Simon's losses were double that of his wins, which is starting to be a little bit of a red flag. However, there is a caveat. Let's continue on. His average risk to reward was 0.53, which again shows that his losses were double that of his wins, but his win rate was an incredible 84.62%, and this is really the singular reason for why Simon was able to make this money. He is losing a lot more on average on a losing trade than he's making from a winning trade, but because his win rate is so high, this balances out. He has way more wins than he does losses. And again, this is the most major takeaway for traders. It's what transformed my trading, was realizing that there is an inverse correlation between your win rate and your risk to reward. If you want a huge risk to reward, you're going to win very few trades. If you want to win a ton of trades, your average risk to reward is going to be quite small, which is exactly what we're seeing here. The risk to reward is very, very small, but the win rate is very high. So you as a trader watching this, you need to determine, what do you want to have? Do you want to win a ton of trades, but each win is a lot smaller? Or do you want to lose a lot of trades, but when you do win, those losses are huge? That is for you to decide. Simon clearly made his decision. Margin utilization was 65%, so Simon was rather risk managed on this account. And that is what we have in terms of the data. And so this really paints a picture of how Simon traded the account, what he focused on, and his approach. Now, even if we shared specific trades that he took, it's hard to decipher exactly what kind of strategy he was using, whether it's support and resistance, trend lines, ICT, you name it. It's difficult to determine but it does look like overall he was risk managed. Now, I want to talk about the most major takeaway here. A win rate of 84% is one of the highest win rates that we have seen over a roughly 1 month long period, which is absolutely fantastic. However, his entire profitability relies on this singular metric. Because his risk reward is so low, if that win rate starts to decrease, all of a sudden he's only not going to not make money, he's going to start losing money, which is obviously no bueno. And so it's kind of high risk to have your entire success rely on a singular metric. I personally prefer my trading success to depend on a variety of metrics. I don't want to have to rely on just winning a whole bunch of trades. And so I really think that this is an interesting takeaway of how you can construct your own trading strategy to fit you. You don't have to just take somebody else's and copy it verbatim. You can really structure it in a sense so that it fits your psychology, what your goals are. If you don't like taking losses, no problem. Aim for small risk reward trades, a high win rate. If you are stoic and you don't mind taking losses, well, then you can go for those huge wins. And so I really think that that is the overall main lesson from Simon's stats. But all that to say, still an absolutely incredible payout of over $3,500. Let me know if you guys have any questions or any thoughts on this, if there's a takeaway that you got from this that I didn't mention. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.